It's official. ESO is going buy to play. That's right. If you didn't hear me, let me say it again. ESO. Buy to play. Official. Hey everybody, it's Ziz here, and that's right, we have official confirmation from Zenimax that ESO is going buy to play in March. Also, they announced the console release date, which is going to be June 9th. Now there's a ton of stuff for us to talk about. There's a buy to play option, there's a subscription option, there's downloadable content on the way, also there's a cash shop, tons of stuff. We're going to talk about how all of this works, also how it's going to affect the game, and last but not least, why I think there's a lot of crazy, shady stuff that's going on. Let's take a look.
We announced today we're launching console on June 9th, both Xbox One and PlayStation 4. We're super excited about that. It's going to be called Tamriel Unlimited, Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. No subscription required.
So for all of our current PC subscribers, we are going to be switching over for them, within the next couple of months. Talk a little bit about that decision and kind of how we, meaning us, all sort of wound up and deciding to go to that kind of a change and what that means for...
Yeah, we're, first of all, obviously I talked about console just now, but we're taking PC to no subscription required also. And what that means is if you buy the box, you don't have to pay a subscription fee on PC, but it also means if you are already a customer of Elder Scrolls Online, have ever purchased an Elder Scrolls Online box and set up an account and played, you'll be able to play with no subscription fee too.
So first thing, how is all this going to work? Well, starting on March 17th, you can log in and play the game without a subscription fee. That's right. For anyone who's played in the past, anyone who's currently playing and has a subscription fee, that's right. You do not need a subscription fee to play the game starting on March 17th. So if you have a subscription now, you can cancel it on February 17th. March 17th, you can still play without paying. Or if you have a box, if you played before, you can log in and play without paying anything. But if you can still play the game without paying each month, why is there a subscription option? Well, the way it's going to work is you get a bonus, you get some perks by having a subscription. First thing, you get an extra 10% to your experience, to your gold gain, to your inspiration, and to your research times for crafting. So you get a little bit bonus, you work a little bit faster there. Also, if you're a monthly subscriber, you do not have to pay for any downloadable content. Now wait a minute. There's no downloadable content in the game. That's right. Everything we have now, you get to keep. In fact, even patch 1.6 with the champion system and the justice system, all of that is included in the base game. But in the future, they're going to start releasing DLC, just like Skyrim, where you pay 10 or 20 bucks and you get to go to these other zones, maybe Orsinium, maybe the Imperial City. You can't access those unless you have the downloadable content. There's a couple of ways to get the DLC. One, you can be a monthly subscriber, or two, you can buy it in what they're calling the Crown Store. Crown Store basically means cash shop, and you get these crowns and you can use the crowns, this in-game currency, to pay for the downloadable content. Well, how do you get crowns? Well, there's a couple of ways. One, if you're a monthly subscriber, you get 1,500 crowns every single month that you're paying for the game. And you get all of them up front. So if you pay for 3 months or 6 months, you get all of the crowns right up front. Also, anyone who's bought the game gets 500 crowns right off the bat to spend in the shop. And if you paid for ESO in the past, every month you've paid for gets you an extra 100 crowns. So for me, for example, when the game comes out in March, I get 500 crowns plus an extra like 700 for the 7 months that I've subscribed. So I'll have like 1,200 crowns. And then if I keep subscribing, I get another 1,500 every month. You can also buy crowns just in the store. If you go to the cash shop, you say I want to buy some crowns, you put your credit card in there, and for 10 bucks you can get 3,000 crowns or whatever the number is going to be. So you can get crowns that way. Now, what is the cash shop going to have in it? What's it for? Well, it has DLC, like we've already talked about. There's also going to be some cosmetic items, stuff like new horses and mounts, a black horse with a white mane or spotted horse. Or there's also going to be a guar mount. That's right, that little pudgy 2-foot little, that's right, it's going to be in the cash shop as well. There's also pets. There's a black panther and there's a dog, different pets, and also other costumes. There's a white dress and a black and red dress, and there's a chef outfit, and there's some cool looking knight's armor, and all this sort of stuff is going to be available in the cash shop, in the crown store, for you to buy with crowns. Also in the cash shop is going to be other things that are convenience items, things like soul shards, things like potions, things like repair kits are all going to be in there as well. So all those sorts of things you can get in the cash shop, in the crown store. So again, to recap, starting on March 17th, if you have the game, if you've bought the game, you can play with no monthly subscription fee. If you keep your sub fee, you get some bonuses. You automatically get access to any DLC that comes down the way, and you get a bunch of crowns. You can use the crowns for cosmetic items and convenience items. And if you're not a monthly subscriber, you can buy crowns to get the DLC. So how does this all affect the game that we're playing?
Are people going to be able to buy super powerful weapons that are going to make them, more powerful on the battlefield, or armor that allows them to absorb, insane amounts of damage and never die?
Yep.
Not the kind of stuff that you're envisioning for the Crown
Store. Like I said, our philosophy for the Crown Store is customization and convenience, not pay to win.
How does this affect the game? Well, first and foremost, it lets a lot of people play that never would have played the game. There are so many people that would never play ESO because of the monthly subscription. All the people who are used to playing ES games and people who just don't want to pay a monthly sub. This is going to allow all of them to just buy the box and start playing, which is going to be great. We're going to have lots of people in the game, and it helps bring revenue into the game. And the more revenue they have, hopefully means the better and more content we have. We don't want the game to die. We want people to play. And so this is a great change. Now, for those of you who like the game and are paying already, you can keep doing that. It's not going to take away anything you already have. If you love ESO and you want everything there is with ESO, then keep paying your monthly fee. You can get all the downloadable content, and you get some extra crowns for the cash shop, and you can just do everything that you want. Or if you only want to play a little bit of the game, like let's say you want to play Cyrodiil, you can do that without paying a monthly sub fee. Or you can enjoy the whole game as it is now without paying anything, and then later on, if you want, you can just download the DLC you want, or you can start subscribing, and you can turn your subscription on and off all you want and keep playing in between. It's great. Options are great, and I don't see any negative in the game for having options. Now, the cash shop, there's a couple of little things there that you may not like. So far, they've said that nothing in the cash shop is going to give you an advantage over someone who has stuff in-game. So, for example, the potions that they have in the cash shop, they have already specifically said that the potions you get from crafters are better than the cash shop potions. Now, the cash shop potions are kind of cool because they level up with your character. So if you buy a bunch at level 10 and then you go up to level 30, your potions are still good because they rank up to level 30 with you instead of being worthless. So they're cool, but if you want the best potion you can get, that's still from a crafter. Now, they also said that there's no way to just buy gold. So we shouldn't see any huge ramifications from the economy. You can't just spend $10 on crowns and then use those crowns to get gold. But you can kind of backhandedly get a little more gold because you can use your crowns to buy a mount. So instead of spending in-game gold on the mount, you're using your crowns. Also, you don't need to buy potions anymore unless you want the really good ones. You don't need soul shards anymore or repair kits. So there's a little bit of money you're saving by using the crowns, but I don't think it's going to be enough to break the economy or anything like that. So overall, we shouldn't see any huge negative effects in the game as it stands now. In fact, everything in the game you have already, and patch 1.6 with the justice system and the champion system, you're going to have all that already. They're not taking any of that away. This is just giving you more options. So basically, if you don't want to pay, You don't have to, which is really great. Now, there's a couple little minor things. For example, usually when I'm playing an MMO, if someone has a really cool mount, I'm immersed in the game and I say, wow, where'd you get that cool mount? And they say, oh, I got it from this dungeon or this raid, or I raised it from a calf, right? Maybe I'm an RP nerd. Well, now you go, wow, where'd you get that cool gore mount? And they say, oh, I bought it in the cash shop for $4.99. Oh, I bought it for crowns, which is $4.99. So that kind of removes that immersion a little bit. Also, there's things in the cash shop you can only get via the cash shop, like a chef outfit. And before, you would have thought you could get the chef outfit maybe by some achievements, or you could just buy it or whatever. Now it's kind of behind this paywall. But if you're a monthly subscriber, you get coins already, crowns already, so you can still buy it. So it's not a hugely negative thing, but it is a little bit of a difference. And the main thing I'm concerned about is, what about a year down the road? What's the game going to look like then? Normally, on a game that you pay every month for, they are making content that is so good it encourages you to keep playing because you want to do it so much. And then because you're still playing, they get you your monthly sub. Now, are we going to get content that's so good you have to pay for it? A little bit in the DLC, but what about all that cash shop stuff? That's just kind of silly stuff, frivolous stuff. Now, some people like it, and that's great. But I'm just worried a year down the road, maybe the game won't have all this awesome, cool stuff that they've had a year of content. They'll just have a bunch of kind of goofy stuff in the cash shop. I don't know. Also, what about the Imperial City? They've been talking about the Imperial City for a year and a half. We still haven't got it. And now the fact that 1.6 is introducing this whole system, the Imperial City looks like it might be downloadable content. So for people like me who want a PvP, looks like I'm going to have to spend some more money to play the game. But at least I won't have a sub fee. So good and bad, overall, I think it's a great change. In fact, I think they should have done this to begin with. Which leads me to my last point. What the were they doing?
We talked about paywalls before, and I said many times they didn't make much sense. But the game has evolved a lot over the last year. And
after watching this entire hour and a half long presentation, and I've watched it twice already, I have never felt on more by a company than I do by Zenimax, because there's a lot of little subtle jabs here and there that they tried to make seem like positive references, but really just makes me feel like I had been paying all this money and playing a game that was in beta.
Basically, the game that you're playing today is the game that you're going to play when it goes by to play.
Now, I guess the problem is a lot of people already knew that and felt that way. But I thought when they released the game, and I paid $80 for the Imperial Edition, I paid $15 every month for the game, I thought they were already trying to give me the best game possible. I understand MMOs come out with new content, so I didn't have a problem with new stuff coming out. But they really treat me like a beta tester. And they are finally coming out with the ESO that they wanted.
Yeah, again, not to beat a dead horse, but early on I said that the cool thing is we're going to be able to start out with what is essentially 1.6, and that means that when you buy the game, all of the features that you have access to right now and in 1.6 are going to be available to you.
Why have you been shitting on me this entire time? Why am I a beta tester for consoles? Why did you release to me some crappy game that you were never satisfied with yourself? And why am I still paying for this game? Let's go back a little bit, shall we? When I got into the alpha, it was back in March of 2013. And there was this kind of shift in the game where they used to have nameplates and they used to have damage numbers and the camera used to be pulled farther back and the game was really geared to be an MMO. And they saw how much money that Skyrim had brought in, 10 million sales, and they really shifted the game to be more of an Elder Scrolls, almost single player game. And then just before the game released, they realized they were going to put it out on consoles because the Xbox One and the PS4 were coming out, and so they knew they were going to put it on consoles. Now, at that time, they said they were trying to work it out with Xbox and PS4 so there would be no monthly fee for their internet access. And it sounded like they worked it out with the PlayStation. So I honestly believe back in February of 2014, they probably thought they were going to have a sub fee. But sometime between then and QuakeCon, they realized they were going to change to this model because the stuff they were showing us at QuakeCon was DLC.
Yeah. For those of you that watched the QuakeCon presentation that we did back in the summer, we showed some video of kind of the things that we're working on. A lot of those items which you're seeing on screen right now are what will eventually come out in DLC packs for ESO.
So if you knew back at QuakeCon you were going to make this change, that people on console weren't going to have to pay and we weren't going to have to pay, why have I been paying all these months since then till now? Because you could? That's basically what it comes down to. You wanted me to beta test your game and you could charge me for it, so you just went ahead and did it. And what is the reward we get for all of this?
Clearly, a lot of folks still playing the game, and Paul, we want to make sure that those folks come into this new era with maybe a few crowns in their pocket, a little spending money.
Yeah, we want to take the players that are currently playing and say, hey, there's going to be something in this for you just right out the gate when we launch the program.
Oh, 100 crowns per month. So if you've been playing every month since the game came out, suffered through all the bugs and everything that's happened, you're going to get, what, 2/3 of 1 month subscription? You get like 1,000 crowns compared to 1,500 you get just from 1 month of a sub fee? Are you kidding me? But hey, that's all right. You want to use PC players as beta testers? You want to force them to pay for the game up until now when you make your announcement? Fine. You're going to all over me? Fine. What about right now? They just made this announcement. What about from now, January to February? And what about the next 2 months? This isn't speculation anymore. We don't have to wear our tinfoil hats. We know they're going by to play. Why are they still charging me a sub fee right now if they know for a fact that they will not be charging it in March? Because they can.
Like politicians, on one end we're kissing babies and the other we're taking their lollipops away from them. So.
Now, I understand it's a company, it's a business, they need money to keep the lights on, and if they weren't making money, they wouldn't make the game. I understand that. But there comes a point when a company is so greedy, so money hungry, they're all over the place, and you're living in a porta potty. You are horrible people.